not really sure where to begin with this video. So I guess we're just going to jump in.
Yeah, we've been in Southeast Asia and Malaysia now for 6 weeks, and we have not posted a video yet. That's thanks to a series of unfortunate events that have happened since we've been here. Nothing that's Malaysia's fault. It's just life happens.
Life does happen. It actually started off really well. Despite having a little bit of jet lag, we got over that in a few days, and we went out and had a lot of fun and got to do some sightseeing and work on a video. But then JP hurt his shoulder pretty badly, actually.
It's been 5 weeks. It still hurts, and I'm really afraid I've done something to my back again. But before we can deal with that, I have other things that I have to do. Well, the first one is we went and got our health screenings done. We're going to talk about that and the shocking results that we received from those a little bit later in the video. But while we were doing our health screening, everybody in the hospital was sick, and I caught it in the waiting room. I spent most of a day. The first day was Amelia's turn, and I waited for her, and everybody was sick, and I caught it. So I was sick for about 10 days with that to start our trip. We had filmed a little bit for videos, but not enough to make a video yet.
No, and it was quite disappointing because we have this whole new plan that we're excited to share, but that has been put on hold. Fortunately, JP got better to go to the conference, which is one of the reasons we came to Kuala Lumpur in the first place.
We met some really cool people at the conference. We hung out with our good friends Josh and Kaylee from Portugal and expats everywhere. We made a new friend, Shifa. She's a YouTuber from Indonesia. She's awesome. Hi, Shifa.
Hi, Shifa. And we also met some viewers, so it's so nice to meet you guys in person. We really enjoyed speaking with you and getting to know you better and all the other people we met.
We did our panel talking about places to live around the world, and we talked about Ecuador and Albania, and because we've been here a month, we also talked about Malaysia. And the panel was fun, about 800 people, I think.
Yeah.
So it was good. We really enjoyed our time at that conference.
But the downside is that JP got sick again.
Yeah, this time is bad though. The first time it was a cold that kind of knocked me out, but this one put me vertical. I was in bed and watching television.
Horizontal?
Put me horizontal. I can't even think. You can probably still hear it in my voice. I've been out for over a week with that, and it's been rough. We're not sure what it is. It feels like the flu, but it could be the big C. I don't know. We did the health screenings. That was another reason why we came here, because we've heard great things about it. And we went to Prince Court. I know a lot of you have asked about that already. And we were really impressed with the whole screening process. You want to walk them through what it was?
Yes, it was a whirlwind. It covered basically everything. You know, do all the basic tests, but then they did the other stuff like cancer markers and things like that. You stand on this machine and you put your hands on it. You have to stand barefoot, and it figures out your whole like body density. So it tests your weight and body fat and all of that stuff. Let's see, ultrasound, bone density scans, the DEXA scans. We met with different doctors.
The stress test.
The stress test, that's right. We did the stress test where they put you on the EKG and then you walk and run on the treadmill.
It was all kinds of stuff. It took, what, 4 hours? About 4 hours to go through all of these tests. And in the U.S., it would have taken a year to get all these done and cost at least $10,000. And here it was 4 hours and cost $462. That was each. So each of us paid that for the middle age health screening, the 50+ health screening for men and women. And unfortunately, they uncovered some things we weren't expecting that are a bit scary.
No, the good news is that at the end of that day, we were able to go. They have cafeteria in there. So we went and had lunch. And then while we were waiting, they were preparing all of our results. So we were actually able to sit down and meet with the doctor that day. And they went through everything, which I really appreciate. It was freaking shocking. So bottom line is that I was diagnosed with osteoporosis at 56 years old. Something that it never would have occurred to me that I would even need to be concerned about, because I honestly thought that's what happened to people, like ladies in their 80s and 90s. So that was a harsh reality. I told JP I felt like I was living in this ageless bubble. And let me tell you, my bubble got burst hardcore.
I was in the doctor when they told her how serious this was. And I just, honestly, I didn't think it was that serious. And It's scary. The doctors start talking about her like not falling, potentially getting pads to wear in her for her pants in case she fell.
Like for my hip.
For her hips. This isn't like something to be taken lightly. It's extremely serious, and we've let it go on too long. I mean, Amelia, I've noticed over the last couple of years, she's always been so muscular. She has kind of a gymnast build, and I've noticed that her muscles have been kind of atrophying despite us working out all the time. And
Yeah.
I really didn't think about it, and I didn't want to say anything because I was afraid I would get in trouble. So I didn't say anything like, it looks like your muscles aren't as strong as they used to be. And turns out all of this is related. Her muscle mass is really low for her body density. So it's really, really scary. And we just weren't expecting this because we live such a healthy, active lifestyle. But that's what happens to women in their 50s.
Yeah, like I said, bubble burst. It was definitely a dose of harsh reality. However, I am taking it very seriously. So I've really stepped up my exercise routine and working on strength training and all that. Because the thing with that, whatever that BMI test or whatever it was, is it told you exactly what your fat to muscle ratio was. And so they told me I need to gain almost 10 pounds of muscle. Oh, I was kind of surprised by that, but I'm totally going to do it.
She's already working really hard at it.
Yeah, I'm not wearing those pads either. I'm just going to strengthen up and be more careful.
So I have my own extra bad news. I've been talking to you guys for years now about how I have genetic high cholesterol, and I've been trying to keep that under control with a healthy diet and exercise. And it's just obviously not enough because my stress test came back with an anomaly, and I have to go get a CT scan on my heart because the doctor is concerned that there may be blockage in my heart. And that wasn't something I was expecting either. And so we were supposed to do that last week, but because I got so sick, I had to cancel that appointment. We're going to reschedule that hopefully for this week.
Luckily, we can get in and get all this stuff done really quickly, and also that it is extremely affordable.
Yeah,
because it's not breaking our bank at all.
We're paying out of pocket. We don't have insurance that covers this type of health screening here. Our insurance is through a company in Ecuador. So if we wanted to go back, they don't really offer these types of health screenings in Ecuador anyway. But if we wanted to go back to get treatment, we could do that. But since we're here and it's so affordable, we're just going to see what we can get done here.
Exactly. So I'm really, really grateful that we decided to come and do this because, well, we just would have never known. We would have had until something bad happened. And that's what's so scary.
It is scary. In the US, they just wait until it's reactive medicine. They wait until something bad happens, like you fall and break a hip. And they're like, oh, wow, you have osteoporosis. Did you know this? But here with this DEXA scan and offered at our age group and me getting a stress test and all the other things that they tested, for like blood sugar and all of that stuff. I mean, it's not easy to get all of this stuff done in the US, especially for such a low price tag to where you can go and get it all done in one day for a few $100s.
Right.
And everybody should be doing this. We really want to encourage you guys to think about this. And Malaysia isn't the only place that does it. You can get health screenings in Istanbul and Turkey and some other countries around the world where you can go and they have medical tourism and you can get all of these tests done in a day and really identify if you have something wrong with you before it becomes a problem. And unfortunately, with heart disease, a lot of times your only symptom is your last symptom. It happens to a lot of people. They just have a heart attack and that's it. A lot of people are young and healthy and don't even realize they have a problem.
Well, and also to be able to get screened for those cancer markers is really important too. But my takeaway as well is that, you can get these tests done in the US, but you have to wait a long time. And we were able to get the testing done, but also to turn around and immediately get follow-up appointments with specialists. I mean, we're talking the next day.
The other nice thing is the cost of that. Most of those specialist doctors, an office visit was like $40 to $50 for an office visit. And it was so nice to just be able to schedule. Like Amelia had met with one who said, you need to go see another one. And they made the appointment for like 2 hours later. Right. It wasn't 2 months later, like what we're used to in the US. So, I mean, it's incredible that the rest of the world operates so differently on this. And I have a WhatsApp number we both do that we can WhatsApp doctors and the hospital and schedule appointments and get prescriptions and all of that stuff. It's just so much easier and more streamlined here.
And everybody spoke English, which makes it so nice because you don't even have to stop and think, if we were in Ecuador, a lot of our doctors spoke English in Ecuador too. But there are sometimes some situations where we needed to speak some Spanish. And, when you're dealing with medical stuff, it's not our first language, so it doesn't automatically translate in our heads quickly. So it was nice to be able to operate in our main language.
Anything else on that?
Well, stay tuned because we'll have more.
More
We may have more to talk about. Let's hope not.
Yeah, hopefully I don't need some sort of heart surgery while we're here. That would be a real bummer on our trip to Southeast Asia. So we've already stayed longer than we planned on here, mainly because I've been sick and we've had to delay some of our appointments. But I have more appointments coming up, and so does Amelia, follow-up appointments. And then we may actually be back here in a few months for more follow-up because I told Amelia we cannot let this go with her osteoporosis now, and we have to make sure that we get this checked. And the doctor said she wants to see her again in a few months. So we'll probably be back here for that.
Which is fine because we were already planning on staying in this part of the world anyway. So the nice thing about being here is that it's easy. If we were in Latin America, then of course we would be in Ecuador doing all of this, but we are halfway around the world. Yeah,
another problem that this experience, mainly me being sick, has brought up is the single point of failure that is our YouTube channel, and that I've done all of the filming and editing throughout the years. Amelia hasn't done any of that other than maybe a couple short clips here and there. So she doesn't really know what goes into filming or editing our videos. So that means if I'm down for the count, we have no videos, we're not recording. So Amelia finally reached a limit. She's like, I'm going to figure this out. This isn't right. And she actually went out and filmed her very first vlog the other day, and she came back, and I had very low expectations. And I got to say, she did really well for her first one. It took me a lot longer to figure this out than it took her to figure out.
Well, to be fair, we have been doing this for a long time. And even though I wasn't holding the camera all the time, I have been observing what you do.
Yeah, that's true.
But I actually had a blast doing it. I was kind of nervous that I was going to feel really weird and uncomfortable, but I didn't in the slightest. And one of the great things about being here is that it's so safe. I've been going to the grocery store and running errands and doing other things by myself. There's no difference with me going out and just holding the camera or my phone and talking into it and push me out of my comfort zone, which is never a bad thing. And it turned out I really like it. So I'm going to do more of the filming. So
that's awesome.
Watch out, JP.
I welcome it.
The editing I haven't tried to learn yet, but that's step number 2. Yeah,
so stay tuned for that video coming up. It'll probably be our next video since it's already recorded, and I haven't been out of the house in a week to record another one. So
nope. I have all sorts of plans.
I know. She's going to go out and have fun without me.
I am.
I told her I'm going to be well soon, and I'm going to be out there having fun too.
Yeah, you are. I know. Of course you are. You're not going to be sick forever. He's already a lot better, you guys. You might not be able to tell, but I can tell.
Yeah. We just wanted to let you guys know why we haven't been posting on our regular schedule, especially we've been so excited to come to Southeast Asia and experiences and share it with all of you. And it kind of stings, sometimes life happens while you're busy making plans, and it definitely happened to us.
Well, I do have more thoughts. First of all, I'm really happy that we travel on such a flexible schedule, meaning we basically have no schedule other than the fact that we can just stay as long as our tourist visa allows. And therefore, we haven't been worried about being here and running out of time, or the fact that we had to get on an airplane and go someplace else. So if you can travel like that, I highly recommend it in case something like this ever happens to you. And second of all, we feel like we're at home here. It has been so easy to just settle in and live our lives despite having these setbacks. So I feel like we are at the right place at the right time.
All right, guys, let us know in the comments if you have any questions for us about the health screenings or anything else. And stay tuned for more videos coming from Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia and the rest of Southeast Asia.
Yes, we have a lot of good stuff in store.
Before you go, leave us a thumbs up, please, and we will see you all soon.
See you soon.
Ciao.
Ciao.